Drones, or small unmanned aerial systems, they seem to be everywhere these days, whether it's filming the Olympics or just a photographer taking a picture of a home. But what is the future of the drone aircraft? Well, you may have heard of the FAA Modernization and Reform Act of 2012. In that act, Congress outlines that the FAA must integrate SUAS, or Small Unmanned Systems, into the U.S. airspace by the end of 2015. Hi, I'm Alex Grieve, president of the FPVTA, and I'm here to tell you what the law is and separate fact from fiction. In the Modernization and Reform Act, there is a section 336, which is the special rule for model aircraft. And what that special rule states is that the FAA may not pass any law restricting the operations of model aircraft and hobby enthusiasts. Now, that is there to protect all hobbyists from the laws, future laws, passed by the FAA. So what's in there? Well, there's a few guidelines that you must meet in order to be considered a hobbyist model aircraft. First, you must give way to full-scale aircraft. This seems to be a no-brainer. 2, it is recreational use only. What this means, quite frankly, is that you only are flying this strictly for enjoyment or developing an aircraft strictly for hobby purposes. So you can't go fly and take photographs and then sell, say, the editing services. No, that's illegal. That's getting around the law. That's not the way it works. It is simply, I enjoy flying, so I can fly. Now, there are a couple other things that aren't necessarily fun. 1, you must be under 55 pounds. While video pilots, this doesn't seem to be much of a problem. Giant scale aircraft are significantly hurt by this because they've been, since the 1960s, they've been well over 55 pounds and have never had an incident. But they are not exempted from the law, so we'll see what shakes out. Also, if operating within 5 miles of an airport, you are required to tell the control tower. Now, of the 14,000 airports in the US, only about 5,000 even have paved runways, let alone an aircraft control tower. So perhaps what they are asking us to do is simply inform somebody in charge of those airports. However, the last thing is a little bit difficult, and that is that you must be part of a community-based organization. That's difficult. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to join the AMA, but perhaps the FPVTA or maybe an online forum. But this organization must have safety rules and must act as a liaison between you and the FAA, and you must agree to abide by their safety code. Well, there's another section in there that oddly protects FPVers, which the FAA has strangely twisted. You see, in the Modernization Act, it also states that a model aircraft is flown within visual line of sight. That's actually how it's written in the law. However, when the FAA made their interpretation of this rule, it not only sparked a lot of controversy and a lot of comments, but it also spawned 3 lawsuits asking them to repeal their interpretation, which of course they did not do. So now this goes to court. And what is this about? It's about, in the law, it states that a model aircraft is operated within visual line of sight. Now, if you read the interpretation, it says that the FAA understands that visual line of sight, that is unaided visual line of sight, no binoculars, no night vision goggles, and no video goggles or screen. Those are specifically outlined, but it does say that corrective lenses are acceptable. Now, mind you, what the FAA is saying is by way of. You are only allowed to fly by way of visual line of sight. But that's not what's written in the law. The law says within visual line of sight. That is a physical boundary. In other words, the way the law is written, you are allowed to fly with these on your face, so long as when you pull them off and look out to the sky, you could see your aircraft. Now, of course, this aircraft and this aircraft would have different boundaries simply because this one is larger. So there are a couple things you can do. First of all, you can attach strobes or reflectors to this, making it capable of being seen further away. But what you cannot do is have a distant spotter look at it for you. That is strictly forbidden according to the FAA, and there is no basis for that under Section 336 of the Reform Act. So at least for now, the aero modeling community does have people in their corner. 3 lawsuits, in fact, are in your corner fighting for you, and one of them is us at the FPVTA. We are fighting for your right to fly, and with luck, we'll win. I'm Alex Grieve, and keep your wings in the sky.